Hello, everyone. My name is John Vavrina, and I am the Vice President of Sales for Railbookers, and I'll be your host today. I will spend time explaining who we are, what we do, our top-selling products in Canada, and announce the details of our flash sale. Most importantly, I will discuss some of the advantages you have by booking through Railbookers, which isn't available elsewhere in the market today. So who are we? Well, Yankee Holidays was our first brand established 46 years ago in 1972. In 2007, Yankee Leisure Group was formed, as we were managing multiple brands. Well, today we have three distinct brands: Yankee Holidays, Amtrak Vacations, and Railbookers. Now, you can almost think of it as four brands when you consider Via Rail Vacations by Railbookers. And we've had some good fortune. Every year has been our best year ever for the past 6 years. And that includes this year, which is currently our best year ever, as we're entering into 2018 with double-digit growth. And that will make this year our new best year ever. Just 6 years ago, Yankee Leisure Group was solely based in the Boston area. Today, we have offices in Southern California, London, and Beverly, Massachusetts. We have future plans to open offices in Australia and Asia. But today, we're focusing on our Railbookers brand. Our Railbookers has been servicing the UK and Australian markets since 2003. But we just introduced Railbookers to the US market at the end of last year, 2017. Why travel on a rail vacation? Well, it's really a bucket list experience. You can think of the Canadian Rockies in Canada, or simply the romantic, nostalgic, golden age of rail travel charm. Premier scenic routes. On both Rocky Mountain Near and Via Rail, you can view scenery where there are no roads, and you cannot view from an airplane flying overhead. Multi-province adventures. Do you like to tick off multiple cities or even multiple countries to maximize the time spent on your vacation? Well, we can actually bring you from Halifax to Toronto, to the Canadian Rockies, to Vancouver, even onto the US. On a train, the train ride is part of the vacation experience, not simply transportation like on a bus or a plane. Convenience and relaxation. Have you ever been on a bus and needed to go to the bathroom? Need a snack? Wanted to play cards with your traveling companions? Well, traveling by train is a much different experience than being confined to a seat on a bus or a plane. City to city. Now, most places in Canada, you can get right to the city center by train, unlike airports. Also, you can speed in comfort between cities without missing the incredible landscape around you. Can you imagine sitting for several days on a bus from Vancouver to Toronto? That's a very popular route on Via Rail Vacations, a route that you would miss everything if you were to simply fly over in a plane. And why choose Railbookers? Well, we're rail experts. Do you want breakfast in London, lunch in Paris, and dinner in Switzerland? We can recommend routes based on what your needs are. Insider access. Well, with our direct contracts, we can book your rail up to 18 months in advance. Try booking European rail elsewhere. In most cases, you're going to have to wait until 90 days prior to departure just to get pricing and schedules. Flexibility. Well, we can customize any package or build one from scratch based on what your needs are. And hassle-free bookings. We take care of it all: the rail, accommodations, sightseeing, transfers, even ferries and intercity travel. Now, these are just some of the major partners that we have direct contracts with. This is insider access that allows us to offer great values on a daily basis and special promotions, such as the Via Rail flash sale that I'll be discussing in just a few minutes. You see all those colors? Those are all the different rail systems just in Europe, and none of them talk to each other. But guess what? We have direct contracts with all of them. Now, many of you are familiar with our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, in which we have packages on the Canadian. That's the red line. Well, through Railbookers, we run Via Rail Vacations, and we offer vacation packages on all of these lines. Well, except for the Winnipeg to Churchill line, in which the train services have been suspended due to the closure of the railway infrastructure. And we also use special partners, such as the Rocky Mountaineer, which wouldn't be offered through our sister brand. So what kind of vacation types can you get through Railbookers? Well, we offer scenic rail journeys, and when it comes to Canada, that explains just about every journey. But in other countries, you may think of things like the Orient Express or the Glacier Express. We offer classic journeys, so you can think of your classic journey as Vancouver to Calgary, or Prague, Vienna, and Budapest, or Venice, Florence, Rome. We offer city breaks. These are generally a quick getaway for 2 or 3 nights. In fact, many times a business traveler will add on a couple nights either before or after a conference in places like Vancouver, Toronto, Quebec. There's too many options to list in Europe. Pre- and post-cruise journeys. Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Princess, just to name a few ocean lines that we do business before and after. Also, frequently we'll do packages in conjunction with Uniworld, Viking, and Avalon River cruises. Customizable rail vacations. This is where we really excel. If we don't have the package that fits your needs, we'll build one from scratch. Now this is a quick preview. We'll be coming back to this slide. Just take note that the specials are on berths, cabins, and prestige class throughout Canada. Now you can download the attached flyer with our specials, and feel free to ask your questions here. I may not get to all of them on this presentation, but we'll get you an answer today. A Great Western Canadian Rail Journey. Now, this is a great package for many reasons. You will get the true train experience by sleeping overnight on Via Rail. Via Rail has a luxury sleeping class on board called Prestige Class. And in order to qualify for Prestige Class, you must be traveling at least 2 nights on board in the same direction. As experts in rail, we know that although these 2 nights have to be in the same direction, they do not have to be consecutive. Hence, if you want to go to the Canadian Rockies in Prestige Class, but do not want to travel coast to coast, this is a great option. Winnipeg is the capital of the Canadian province of Manitoba. Its heart is the Forks, a historic site at the intersection of 2 rivers. With warehouses converted to shops and restaurants, plus ample green space dedicated to festivals, concerts, and exhibits. Nearby, the Exchange District is known for its well-preserved early 20th century architecture and numerous art galleries. It is something for everyone, from boutiques to cheap value stores. All aboard the Canadian, as this Via Rail train brings you from Winnipeg to Jasper, and then Jasper to Vancouver. And you will glide past golden prairie fields, picturesque small towns, sparkling lakes, and finally the snow-capped peaks of the Canadian Rockies. You will enjoy delicious chef-prepared meals and relax in spacious seating in one of the elegant lounges. You will travel through the majestic snow-covered Canadian Rockies, arriving in the mountain town of Jasper. Jasper is an alpine town in Canada's Alberta province and is the commercial center of Jasper National Park. Jasper and Banff are frequently sold-out towns with a very limited supply of accommodations, but Railbookers has inventory in these highly sought-out destinations. Banff is located at an elevation of 4,537 feet, making it the highest town in Canada. And Sulphur Mountain, as you can see pictured here, rises to an elevation of 8,041 feet. Well, the Banff Gondola is included in this package, where you can journey to the top of Sulphur Mountain and have a great bird's eye view of Banff National Park and the Canadian Rockies. After spending another wonderful journey on board Via Rail's Canadian, you'll arrive the next day in Vancouver. Now, Vancouver has been ranked as the 10th cleanest city in the world. It has the mildest climate in Canada and the highest real estate prices. In 2011, the average price of a detached home was a staggering $1.2 million. Some say this is close to rivaling New York City and London. And you will have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing pass included, which will bring you to all the major sites, including the Gastown Steam Clock, Stanley Park Totem Poles, Canada Place, and much more. And after 2 nights in in Vancouver, this package comes to an end. Since Vancouver is the 4th largest cruise ship terminal in the world, this is a good pre-cruise package. Did you know when you upgrade your experience to Prestige Class on board Via Rail, you will enjoy all-inclusive meals, bar service, and personalized concierge service? Now, Prestige Class even has radiant heated floors. Like I said before, many do not know that you need to have 2 overnights on Via Rail in the same direction in order to qualify to reserve a Prestige Class cabin. As rail experts, we know that those 2 nights do not have to be consecutive. So although a classic Canadian Rockies trip from Vancouver to Calgary would not qualify, we have several packages that do, including the package we just spoke about and the next package that we're about to discuss. Classic Canada coast to coast, 16 days from Halifax in the east all the way to Vancouver in the west. This package also qualifies for an upgrade to Prestige Class. Welcome to Halifax, the capital province of Nova Scotia, Canada. Halifax has a strong connection to the Titanic sinking. There is a permanent Titanic museum at the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic. In other news, there are more pubs per capita than any other city in Canada, as some of us find that both intriguing and scary at the same time. Anywho, besides pubs, seafood is the other great thing you'll find in abundance. All aboard Via Rail. The Ocean is a passenger train that travels between Montreal, Quebec, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. It is currently the oldest continuously operated named passenger train in North America. The Ocean schedule takes approximately 23 hours, running overnight in both directions. However, you're going to be getting off in Quebec City. Quebec City is the only walled city north of Mexico. Something you may find all over Europe, but not in North America. When you include the thought of its narrow, winding cobbled streets, it just oozes history and charm of old European cities. Eating is one of the many pleasures in Quebec City, and they even have a chocolate museum, so make sure to bring your appetites. And while you're at it, dress appropriately. Quebec City has 149 days on average per year when the snow is at least 1 inch deep. Montreal is the 2nd largest city in Canada. It was the largest city until sometime in the 70s when Toronto took over that title. Although Montreal is one of the world's 5 largest French-speaking cities, most residents are bilingual, and many speak a 3rd language. And when you visit Montreal, do not miss trying the Montreal-styled smoked meat and separately the poutine. Now, Montreal-styled smoked meat is a type of kosher-style deli meat, product made by salting and curing beef brisket with spices. Smoked meat is prepared similar to New York pastrami, but with different seasonings. Now, poutine is a famous food in Montreal consisting of French fries topped with cheese curds and gravy. You'll find that I often digress to speaking about food. Well, the Niagara Falls were created by glacier activity around 10,000 years ago, and at the current rate of erosion, scientists believe that Niagara Falls will be gone in around 50,000 years, so get there while there's still time. But seriously, Niagara Falls are visited by about 30 million people every year, and here's a tip. You're almost always guaranteed to see a rainbow if you're on the Canadian side of the falls, and that's actually all we sell. Now, to capture this beautiful phenomenon, be sure to grab your camera and visit from about noon until the sun sets. The Canadian is a Via Rail train that will take you from Toronto to Jasper and then Jasper to Vancouver. You will sleep overnight on this train for a true train experience. And we'll be reviewing the sleeping accommodations in just a few minutes. But the views are amazing, the food is fantastic, and the experience is to die for. On day 11 of this package, you will arrive in the afternoon, late in the afternoon in Jasper. You can grab some dinner and explore the town as you prepare for tomorrow. The following day, you will explore Jasper National Park on a guided tour which will take you to scenic waterfalls, deep canyons, and crystal clear lakes. Bring your binoculars, as bald eagles are amongst the most common birds that fly around the park. Vancouver. Admission is also included at the Vancouver Lookout, where you can enjoy a 360-degree view of Vancouver, known as the most beautiful city in the world. And this picture is taken from the world-famous Stanley Park, where you can see the Lookout Tower in the background. It's the round Jetson-like building with the tallest antenna in the picture. It almost looks pink in this picture. Did you know with Railbookers we can customize a vacation or create one from scratch to suit any of your bucket list requirements? And this really is where we excel. Not only can we change any package, we can build one from scratch if we don't have one. The Canadian Rockies, Discovery Eastbound. This is a great package at a great price. Did you want to see the Canadian Rockies and the Rocky Mountaineer, but you just can't make the budget work? Or maybe you're a train buff, more interested in the overnight train experience than staying in a hotel. Well, this is a great alternative to the many other ways we offer seeing the Canadian Rockies. This package starts in Vancouver, the fourth largest cruise ship terminal in the world, making this package popular for post-cruise trips. By the way, Vancouver is home to Canada's longest pool, Kitts Pool, also known as Kitsilano Pool. Measuring at 451 feet, it's nearly the size of 3 football fields. This outdoor heated saltwater pool is a major tourist attraction and is open all year round. If you hop off the hop-on, hop-off tour at Cornwall and Chestnut, right before the Granville Island stop, it's about a 5-block walk. And Victoria has been named both the most romantic city in Canada and one of the top 15 friendliest cities in the world. With an included round-trip ferry ride from Vancouver, you will be able to stroll down the charming cobblestone streets of Victoria. Perhaps you're interested in being one of the 1 million visitors to the world-renowned Boucher Gardens every year. After spending the evening overnight on Via Rail, you will enjoy a relaxing day on the train and then arrive in Jasper. Jasper is an alpine town in Canada's Alberta province and is the commercial center of Jasper National Park. Jasper is frequently sold-out town with a limited supply of accommodations. The Railbookers has inventory in this highly sought-out destination. And included in this package is a chance for you to get up close and personal with massive glaciers during an interactive ride on the Ice Explorer. Take a water bottle so you can take some of the best tasting water in the world with you. After a leisurely ride enjoying wildlife, pristine lakes, and breathtaking mountain peaks, you'll arrive in Banff. Banff is a resort town in the province of Alberta, located within Banff National Park. And like Jasper, it is a frequently sold-out town with limited supply of accommodations. Once again, Railbookers has inventory in these highly sought-out destinations. Well, if one picture describes the beauty of the Canadian Rockies, this is it. You'll get a chance to explore and get some great pictures of Lake Louise. You'll also tour Johnson Canyon, another spectacular treasure of the Canadian Rockies. Included in this package is a shuttle transfer from your accommodations in Banff to Calgary, the largest city in Alberta. Calgary's got a small town heart and big city diversions. According to Forbes, Calgary is the cleanest city in the world. The sun shines on an average of 2,300 hours a year. It's Canadian's sunniest major city. And between street festivals, nightlife, and all the things to do outside, you'll find plenty of things to do during your last night on this package. Did you know on most long-distance routes on board Via Rail, you can check up to 2 large bags free of charge? That certainly beats the airlines. the Grand Eastern Canadian Rail Journey. In this package, you will spend 3 nights in Toronto before moving on to Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City, and Halifax. Toronto is the capital of the Canadian province of Ontario, and it is arguably one of the most interesting places in the world. Its history is so rich and extensive that there's always some fact about the city that takes people from surprise. Anyway, Toronto has 301 days of measurable sunshine. And most people don't realize about 25% of Hollywood movies are actually filmed in Toronto. And it's the third largest city for English theater, just behind New York and London. Now, the Path is the largest continuous underground shopping mall in North America, featuring over 1,200 stores. The CN Tower, at 1,815 feet tall, was the tallest freestanding structure in the world up to 2007. And most importantly, Toronto is home to 8,100 restaurants and bars. There's plenty for you to do, and there's an included hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour that'll get you there. While staying in Toronto, you'll enjoy a full day of sightseeing tour of Niagara Falls and Niagara-on-the-Lake. With as much as 6 million cubic feet of water pouring over the edge every minute, it's sure to impress you. Highlights of the day include a boat cruise up close to the falls, exploring the caverns behind the falls, and lunch overlooking the falls. You'll be able to witness the beauty and majesty of the falls from all angles. Now, Ottawa is the capital of Canada. It is the fourth largest city in Canada and ranked as the fourth cleanest city in the world, according to Forbes. Spark Street in Ottawa is home to many boutiques, museums, theaters, galleries, landmarks, and memorials. In fact, there are more than 14 museums in Ottawa. But the Canadian Museum of Civilization is the most visited museum in all of Canada. Ottawa is also home to the world's longest skating rink at 4.7 miles, the Rideau Canal, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And you can rent skates, pick up hot drinks and beaver tails all along the way. Also, there are 35 major festivals in Ottawa. The Canadian Tulip Festival, held every May, is one of the most famous. Montreal is brimming with culture and festivals, amazing food, and lots of outdoor activities. In fact, Montreal has the highest number of restaurants per capita in Canada, and the second highest in North America after New York City. The included guided tour will bring you to popular attractions, which include Olympic Stadium, a cavernous concrete edifice built for the 1976 Summer Olympic Games. From the outset, the Big O, as it's known, was notoriously hailed as a marvel of architecture and engineering. You'll also go to the Basilica Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is one of the must-sees for a visitor to Montreal. The Basilica is beautiful with awe-inspiring architecture, magnificent statues, and amazing stained glass windows. And you'll go to Place Jacques Cartier, a lively Montreal plaza, which is a gathering place for natives and tourists, all of who enjoy outdoor restaurants and performing street peddlers. Now, Quebec City, not Montreal, is the capital of the province of Quebec. Over 95% of the population is French-speaking. However, more than a third of the population can speak both English and French. Not only is this a great place for foodies, but if you are mesmerized by towering fortresses and lavish castles, you'll be more than satisfied just wandering the ancient cobblestone streets of Old Quebec. Inside its fortifications are charming cafes and antique shops that rub elbows with historic attractions like Citadel, the largest British-built fortress in North America, which has been an active military site since 1850 and still is today. After an overnight scenic journey on Via Rail, you'll arrive in Halifax in late afternoon. Seafood is one of the great things you'll find in abundance. You'll look for lobster, Atlantic salmon, and Digby scallops on the restaurant menus there. You may opt for the included tour of Peggy's Cove, famous for Peggy's Point Lighthouse. The area around this lighthouse is a quaint small village of restaurants and shops with beautiful views. Also, there's a really easy path out to the lighthouse, and there's picnic areas selling lobster rolls everywhere. Well, let's spend a few minutes discussing the accommodations on board Via Rail, from economy or coach to sleeping berths, cabins, and prestige class. Well, economy class, aka coach, is a great for students and passengers on a budget. You get complimentary access to a dome car. Food is available for you to purchase from a takeout stand located in the dome car. Think of muffins, sandwiches, sodas, beer, wine, chips, etc. And depending on availability, coach passengers may be able to access the dining car and purchase hot meals prepared by onboard chefs. Well, Sleeper Plus class, berths. In the next slide, you're going to see these highlighted in yellow. And berths are the most economical entry to the Sleeper Plus class. Now, the picture on the upper right shows the berth during the daytime. The picture on the left shows berths at night. There is privacy at night, as a heavy curtain encloses the sleeping area, separating the upper and lower berth. You also get freshly prepared meals in the dining car, which are included in the fare, as is access to several dome cars. Restrooms are at the end of the sleeping car, just a few steps from the berth accommodation. On this slide, in the upper left-hand corner, highlighted in yellow, you can see that sleeping berths that we were just talking about. Well, next up are cabins for one. They can be seen here in purple. They have a door that locks from the inside and a covered toilet. A love seat by day with a large window to enjoy the passing scenery, as seen in the picture in the lower right. They include a sink with running hot and cold drinking water, as well as access to the shower down the hall. The entire space turns into a bed at night, similar to a first-class pod on an airplane, as seen in the picture on the lower left. Also, freshly prepared meals in the dining car are included in the fare. Now, next up are cabins for two. They're colored in green on this slide. And cabins for two, like the cabin for one, features a door that locks from the inside. Two large chairs during the day and a large window to enjoy the scenery from the room. Also included is a private toilet and vanity with hot and cold drinking water, as well as shower access in the car at the end of the hallway. Freshly prepared meals by a chef in the dining car are included in the fare as well. Prestige class is what I would refer to as the ultimate experience. A spacious cabin 50% larger with a window 60% larger than our cabin for two. And a leather L-shaped couch by day. You can see that in the lower left-hand picture. Look at the upper left. That's a double bed for two by night, facing the window. Now, this class includes radiant heated walls and floors in the cabin, as well as a concierge to take care of your needs. This is the only class in which you get a private washroom with a shower. Now, the prestige lounges pictured on the right offer complimentary bar service, snacks, specialty coffees, and a variety of activities such as wine tastings and interactive talks on local history, geography, and culture. All that is part of the prestige sleeper car experience. And here we have the dining car. Now, all meals aboard the Canadian are freshly prepared and are ordered off a menu with 4 choices per meal. Vegetarian options are always available, and special requests can be made. The menus reflect the location the train is traveling through. So, for example, you may find seafood on the menu as we approach the Pacific coast, beef and lamb in the prairies, and fish from the Great Lakes in northern Ontario. Meals are included for all Sleeper Plus and Prestige passengers. By the way, Canadian wines and beers are served throughout the train. Why choose Railbookers? Well, we are experts and we will recommend routes based on your needs. With our insider access, we can book rail up to 18 months in advance. Your other alternatives are generally waiting until 3 months prior to departure for European rail. Flexibility, we can customize any package or build one from scratch based on your needs. And with our hassle-free bookings, we take care of not just the rail and the accommodations, but the sightseeing, transfers, even ferries and intercity travel. Well, now it's time to talk about our flash sale. We have this amazing flash sale starting today, going to the 26th. Imagine that you could travel all the way across Canada, or part of it, for just $99 upgrade over coach. And that includes all of your meals, sleeping berth, and shower access. Or for a $159 upgrade, you also have a door that locks from the inside and hot and cold drinking water accessible inside your private cabin. Even those who want to travel in the luxurious prestige class with complimentary bar service, private shower, and concierge can save $200. However, there's only 6 of these, and they sell out well in advance, so availability tends to be more important than the great savings. Now, our Via Rail vacation itineraries are easy to find on our website. Just go to railbookers.com, click on vacation types, and then on Via Rail Vacations. You can also order brochures from our website, but keep in mind, printed brochures have less than 1% of what we offer, and any package in the brochure can be modified to fit your needs. Like I said earlier, if we don't have a package that you're looking for, we can build it from scratch. How do I book, you ask? Well, call me. Well, let's make that call us. Or call your local travel agent. And don't forget, you can download the attachment flyer with our specials. You can also enter your questions here. I may not get to all of them on this presentation, but our reservation staff will follow up afterwards. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to read through a couple of the questions here. Can you accommodate specific hotel arrangements, or are we limited to the hotels offered on your site? Well, that's a good question. Now, we actually have thousands of hotels in addition to the preferred partner hotels that you can view on our website. Now, that doesn't mean we can book every hotel in the world, but we have a large inventory, including hotels in national parks and major cruise port cities. Next question here says, please confirm meals and bar service is included in the price of tickets for sleeper class. And are there any other charges like gratuities? Okay, well, the first part of this question is partially correct. Meals are included in the price of tickets for sleeper class, but alcohol is not unless you're in the prestige class. And as far as tipping is totally up to your discretion. But a suggestion would be, while you're eating meals, $2 for breakfast, $3 for lunch, and $4 for dinner. Separate from that, you have sleeping car attendants, where in general, again, it's up to your discretion, but people will pay $5 per person. Next question. Can the prestige class be occupied by a single passenger? Well, the answer to that is yes. Question after that is there a single supplement for solo travelers? Well, that's an interesting question. The answer is no, and let me explain how it works. So berths can be purchased on a per person or per berth rate. In fact, if you're looking for the cheapest sleeping accommodation, it's actually the upper berth. Cabins for one are the same price per person as a cabin for two. And then there comes prestige class, which is one charge per room. So although there is no single supplement, either one person pays for the room or the cost is split between two people. Either way, the room cost is the same. Well, I think that's all the questions we're going to get to today. I am so happy that you joined me today. We are open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And Monday through Friday, Please give us a call if you have any questions, and thank you for tuning in.